Hello and welcome. Now in this video, ladies and gentlemen, we are gonna finish our third step of creating the list view, okay, for our application, and which is an adapter. Okay, the adapter may be the most it's actually not complicated, but with the list view it's the difficult thing that you need to work with. Okay, so everything were easy until now, okay, isn't it? But with the adapter maybe you will get some confused, okay, for the first time, okay, but I'm gonna try my best to make it easy for you. Let's go ahead and create our own adapter. Now the adapter is just a symbol or a normal class, but with some custom functionality. Okay, so I'm gonna right click here on the Java folder or this folder, new Kotlin class. Okay, I'm gonna call it, ladies and gentlemen, for example, any name. I'm gonna call it just custom adapter. This is really common name, so I'm gonna click OK. Now as you can see, we have everything empty. Now what we can do, ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna create class. Okay, the name should be the same, the file name, okay, custom adapter, and let's open these. Now we are gonna create some parameters, okay, and for this, and it will be maybe slightly different. It's slightly difficult to understand, but you are gonna get the idea. So this is something static with all the list views. Believe me, ladies and gentlemen, this is just practice it, for example, for 3 or 4 times, and you will be a professional with create any type of list views. Okay, so it's all the secrets is lives in practice. Okay, so first of all, I'm gonna create a variable called context. Okay, so I'm gonna not specify the name, okay, sorry, not specify the variable keyword. So context should be type of context, okay, because if you remember, ladies and gentlemen, when we are working with for example, the intent, okay, it's actually needed it's need the context, okay, but here it's also need the context, but we are not in activity. That's why we cannot access the context by typing this then at the name of our activity. That's why I'm going to create a variable here of type context, and when we need to pass a context, we are going to pass this variable. Okay, so just bear with me and you will get it. So I'm gonna type context. We should see the context. Yeah, we have it right here. And the second thing, the second thing that we need to add, it's actually our array list. Okay, essentially an array. It's just as I said, it's very flexible of holding data. Okay, so that's why we need to hold our data. Now the difference between the list view, and maybe you are confusing with the list view and the array. Now the list view, we are using it to show the data, but the array, we are using it to hold a data. So think of it like this. Now we are going to create a variable, so you can really call it whatever. For example, data, the type of it should be an array list. Okay, we have the array list right here. Now you may be thinking we should give it a type. Yeah, actually we should, and the type should be of our custom class. Okay, this is and now the things it will be very easy for you. Okay, so I'm going to type custom item class. Okay, and as you can see, ladies and gentlemen, our class is finished. Okay, I mean the things that we need. Okay, so we are creating a class, name it custom adapter. Here we are creating some variables that we need. The first one is the context, as I said, because we want to access the context and we are not in activity. That's why I have created this. And we need to create a data, or we need to get the data or that we want to show, and we are creating a variable, name it data of type an array list. Okay, and this array should also has a type. Okay, for example, when we create an array, for example, of type string or of type int. Okay, but here in this case we are working with a list views. That's why we need to add the type. It's actually of our class. Okay, so that's the whole idea. Now our adapter is ready. Okay, but here there are a bunch of options for you, ladies and gentlemen. For example, with the Android system, there are a class. Okay, it's already defined and it has a lot of great functionalities, okay, that we can use. For example, here in our main activity, we were creating our own class, okay, and extend it from the app comeback activity to get all the features and functionalities. The same thing goes here. okay, we want to create an adapter. Okay, so we have created our own class, and now we are going to extend it from the array adapter class. It's just like, for example, think of it for example, the up come back activity. We are just getting the functionalities from it. So just type an array adapter, and you should find it somewhere here. Okay, and this an array adapter should also has a type. Okay, and the type in this case, what we are gonna as our custom item class, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, and we are not done yet, because this array adapter, it's asking us for it to pass something, and the first one is the context. As I said, it's required from us to get it the context, and the context as you remember, here we have created our variable. So I'm just gonna type context, okay, which is the same variable that we have here. Okay, and the second thing that it's required resources, so you can just type 0. The last thing that is required is the data that you want to show, and in this case it's live inside the data variable. So as you can see, everything is set up, ladies and gentlemen. What we can do, we can open and close this. Okay, so I hope, ladies and gentlemen, is everything clear until now, because the things that we are gonna add in this in this class, it will be maybe very complicated for you. So hope you guys understand everything until now. So what we are gonna do, we are gonna use one of the functions that come with the Android Studio, okay, to do a lot of stuff, and it is the getView method, and what we need to override it, because we cannot create it from scratch. So I'm gonna just override that function. So I'm gonna type override and function, and the name of the function is actually getView. We have this getView function, and ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna remove this line, and it should be like this for you. So everything is set up. Now what we are gonna do, ladies and gentlemen, we need to get this custom list item inside here, okay, to do all of our job here. And to get it is actually, we need to use this convertView variable here. Okay, we need to use it. So I'm gonna create a variable. I'm gonna call it, for example, item view. Okay, it's equal to the convertView that we have here in the top. So I'm gonna equal to the convertView here. We have it. Okay, and what we need to do now, we need to fetch or to match this item view with our custom list item. Okay, now what we can do, we can use the layout inflator. Okay, if you remember, when we are inflating some menus, the same thing here, we are gonna not inflating menus, but we are gonna inflate layout. Okay, so I'm gonna type the item view, it's equal to the layout inflator. Okay, it will help us to inflate an XML file inside this item view variable dot from. Okay, we are gonna pass it the context, because it's asking us for context, and what we can from, not form, sorry, so just a misspelling, from context. And what we need to do, we need to type dot inflate, and here what we need to pass, it's actually three things. The first one is the layout resource file, which lives dot nr dot layout dot the custom list item. Okay, and the second thing that it's required a parent. So just type parent, and last but not least, attached to root. We do not want to attach it to root, so I'm gonna type false. So everything is set up, and as you can see, ladies and gentlemen, what we did, we have accessed this layout. And you might be asking you why we should access this layout. Well, but we want to access these views, the title, the description, the image, and to access them, we need to first to access the whole layout, then we are going to access them from that layout. So here what we need to do, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for us to do our job. So I'm going to create a variable. I'm going to call it item. Okay, it's equal to the get item function, and pass it this position. And the reason behind this is actually what we did, ladies and gentlemen, we have time for us to set the data, and to set the data we are going to use this item. Okay, it will take care of all the stuff that we need, for example the locations of the data. Okay, so just type it like this and you will get the idea once we run our application. Now what we are going to do now, time to fetch the data from the custom, time to fetch the views from our layout file. So I'm going to create a variable. Okay, it could be var whatever. I'm going to call it title. Okay, it's equal to the item view dot find the view by ID method. Okay, not find focus but find the view by ID method. Okay, we are going to cast it as a text view, and here we need to pass the ID, which was r.id. Item title, I think, or something like this. Okay, item title. And what we need to do, ladies and gentlemen, for the, maybe this item could be null, so what you can do, you can double exclamation mark. Okay, and what we need to do now, we need to set a title or a text on that title. So I'm going to type title dot text, it's equal to our item dot title. Now what we did, we just went add the null safety here also. Now what we did, ladies and gentlemen, we said the title, which is the variable that you have here for our view, text view dot text, we want to set a text on it, it's equal to the item, that's mean this variable, dot title, which is our title that comes from this custom class. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, think of it like this. Now what we can do now, for the time saving, what I'm going to do, I'm going to copy this line and paste it for the description. I'm going to call it here disk. Okay, it's equal to the item underscore disk, and we need to title here, we should be text disk dot text, it's equal to the item dot description. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, and everything is correctly added. Now what we can do, we can set for the image. So I'm going to create a variable, I'm going to call it image, it's equal to the view item. Okay, dot find the view by ID method. Okay, not, let me just type the view item or the item view, dot find the view by ID method. We cast it as an image view, and here the ID should be r.id, not fid, dot our item image. Okay, and we have it right here. Now let's set an image resource on this. So I'm going to type image dot set image resource, it's equal to the item dot image. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, and everything is set up. Okay, now we have an error because this requires from us to return a view. Okay, here it says return a view, and if you see here, this convert view of type view. Okay, so we need to return it. Now to return it, we are going to return the item view because it's equal to the item view. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to return the item view that we have, and everything should be set up. Now ladies and gentlemen, let's take a quick recap of what we have did, because we did a lot. The first thing that we did, we have created a class, name it custom adapter. We have added some parameters to it, which the first one is the context, just for use it later on. And also we have created a variable, name it data, and it's the type of array list, and this array list, it's also a type of it for custom class. Okay, and this extends from the array adapter because we want to get some functionalities and functions from that array adapter class that come with Android system. And this requires from us to set it a type, which is the custom item class, and also some parameters. The first one is the context, and the second one is the resources, and this can be 0, and the data that we want to show. The second thing that we did, it's actually we have override this getView method. The reason behind this is all of our job, for example, to get the layout file and set it on ListView or get the data from it, it's actually all live inside this getView method. And we have created our var, it's item view, it's equal to this convert view. Just we want to make the things more simple. Okay, and here we are inflating the layout that we have here. inside this item view, okay, because we want to access these views inside this item view or inside this list item, okay. And here we are setting a data on them, okay. So we are accessing by the find view by ID method. We are here setting text on it, okay. Now here is the secret with item.title. Now as I said, this item we have created here, it will take care of each title that you will set, okay. So in each list item we are gonna have a different title, okay. So this get item and passing it the position will take care of positioning the titles in each list, okay, ladies and gentlemen. Last but not least, we are returning this item view. So that was our third and most difficult step in this section, okay, ladies and gentlemen. And thank you guys so much for watching. We are gonna continue on with our list view in the next video, and see you next.